welcome to Real Kiwi Fishing. This week, Pierre and I are back out in a small tin. But what we've done is we've towed it for about an hour over to one of the west coast harbours. What we're going to be doing today is probably be just doing a bit of soft baiting along the edges of some of the sandbars. Probably 2 metres of water. Might even try a little bit of micro jigging. We've caught a few fish here before on little micro jigs. And obviously we're going to do a bit of a stray line sesh as well. But yeah, today we're out one of the Auckland west coast harbours. Hopefully get into a few fish. There's a lot of birds sort of working, flying around, a lot of terns and stuff. Seems to be a lot of kahawai. So we might even put one of those out for a live bait if we get one. So hopefully get into a few fish. Doing a bit of drifting, some bait, soft baits and micro jigs. About 2 metres of water. Our first fish. Isn't a bad fish. It's a nice fish, first one. Bear's hooked up as well. All we're doing is we're just drifting. We're in about 2 metres of water.
Nice. Cheers, mate. Oh.
So yeah, all we're doing is drifting about 2 metres of water down basically a bank. And what we find out here is the fish just sort of mooch sort of up and down those banks, come up onto the flats on the high tides. It's high tide now. And this is our first 2 baits, and we've caught a couple of fish, so it's looking a bit promising. Ooh, broke. So Pierre just got hammered there. All we're doing is just drifting with a few cubes of pilchard and just getting grabbed. Once again, still 2 metres of water. It's pretty much high tide, a little bit slack tide, so we're not moving too quick. But yeah, it was a nice fish.
Nice snippet. And we didn't have a net, eh? Swallowed. That's close. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
There you go. Still getting hammered. We're still drifting. We're thinking about dropping the pick and dropping a burley and doing a bit of a stray line sesh, but we're getting hammered each bait, so we'll just keep probably drifting, and then if they stop biting, move back up, drop the anchor and burley up maybe. But yeah, we're just using cubes of bait, little cubes of bait. And they're not that aggressive on the bite, they're actually quite tentative, like just nibbles and then all of a sudden grab and go. But yeah, every bait getting hammered, 2 metres of water, like I was saying, it's awesome. go. It's not a bad fish. It's on the soft bait. We're actually at anchor, and all I'm doing is casting the soft bait back and just slowly winding it, and they're sort of biting it as I'm winding. And that's just how crazy it is up here. That normally happens, and you know there's a lot of fish at the back of the boat, and we're haven't even got a burley going. There's just so much fish here. It's one thing I love about these harbours, when the fish are there, you can actually just soft bait. Don't need the workups, and you can just float these down these channels just along the banks, and it's just got fish feeding along the banks there. And you'll drift about 100 meters and you'll get fish throughout that whole 100 meters. You pick up 3 or 4 fish. And that's one cool thing about these west coast harbours. You don't have to go chasing workups to catch these fish. They're just here, similar to the far north. But yeah, we'll just probably sit here for a while, catch a few fish, and then go and have a bit of a play around once we've sort of caught 3 or 4 nice fish each. Take home, just go and have a bit of a play, chuck some micro jigs or something like that. And I've always thought, when we know the fish are back there, chuck those little diving lures, and I'm sure the fish would still have a go. And we're only in 2 meters of water, 2 to 3 meters. So I might even have a shot at something like that if I find one of my tackle bags. So the tide's turned. What we've decided to do is go back out where we were getting the better fish. We've anchored up. We're starting to get onto some nice fish. They're not huge, but real nice west coast fish that you get up in those harbours. So yeah, just it's a bit crazy at the moment, just every bait. And this time of year up here in the harbours and these on the west coast, it just absolutely goes nuts. And occasionally you'll get a nice fish in amongst them. And the cool thing is like we've gone up the harbour, you can drop your burley and not get too harassed by the sharks. And we're still, as you can see on Pierre's line there, we're still using sort of 1/2 ounce sinkers. Current has picked up a bit, but we try and stay with those light sort of sinkers as long as we can, and just change as that current picks up.
Yeah, baby!
So we've caught a couple of nice fish here in the shallows. It's roughly about 4 to 5 feet. Here's my bait, and it's on the bottom, right there. So yeah, that's how deep it's been. We've caught a couple of nice fish, nothing huge, but nice harbour fish. So what we're going to do is just move out a little bit, find somewhere where there's a little bit of a drop off or something. I like to stay away from the channel. Still on the little ball sinker, as you can see, and that's what we try and stay within these west coast harbours. So we've moved down a little bit where we were just up there about sort of 100 metres. And what we've found, because we've got no sounder, what we're doing is we're just drifting along the bank here. There's a bank here that comes out of the water, and we know that it's going to drop away here somewhere. We were in 4 feet of water before, so we're sitting in about 10 feet of water now. Got a little bit of a shallow patch up here, got the bank there.
There's a snapper, boy.
Bear's hooked up to a decent snapper. And like I was saying, yeah, 10 feet of water out on the west coast, one of the west coast harbours. And there's always fish like that up here this time of year. You don't have to head way down to the entrance.
Yeah, he's a nice one too. Man, the fat lady's been singing. Oh!
Oh well.
Never mind. That was a good fish.
And that's why you bring a net when you go fishing.
It's nearly come off.
There's quite a lot of fish here at the moment. And there's the bank there, sandbank. And we're not too far away from the ramp where we launched.
Yeah, this is another one. Look at it. Perfect.
So yeah, there you go. It's not, you know, you don't have to have a massive boat. We haven't even got a fish finder. And all we've done is we've just come across, seen the bank. And that's where you know fish are going to mooch around that bank. Around that area. It drops away down off that bank. So you know, if you've got no sounder, you don't know the place too much, especially on the low tides, is a great time to head out and have a scout around. But that bank is all the way up there. It comes down right down there. So you'll find fish will just sort of mooch up and down this bank, swim with that tide. Tide's still going out, pretty much getting low. But yeah, heap of fish here. Thanks for watching another great day out fishing with Real Kiwi Fishing. And you can also find more of my movies on my YouTube channel, Real Kiwi Fishing.